The legal woes of President Donald Trump continues. The former president, who is the Republican frontrunner in the presidential elections race next year, has been charged with 3 new felony charges, which also include claims that he asked an employee of his Mar-a-Lago club to destroy security camera footage. In a 60-page indictment unveiled, prosecutors accused Trump of possessing a highly classified war plan, which he shared with people lacking security clearances months after his presidency ended. The 3 new federal charges leveled by the prosecutors include additional count of willful retention of secret documents and 2 counts of obstructing the ongoing investigation in the case. Trump's personal aide, Walton Nota, who is already a defendant in the case, has also been charged with 2 counts of obstruction. Meanwhile, an employee at Trump's Mar-a-Lago house has been slapped with federal charges. Trump, Nota, and maintenance worker Carlos de Oliveira have been accused of evading officials looking for the documents, but conspiring to delete surveillance footage at Mar-a-Lago. Special counsel Jack Smith brought the charges of willful retention against Trump by citing one of his interviews at his New Jersey golf resort. Smith said that, quote, Trump could be heard bragging about a plan of attack against another country. Trump now faces 32 counts of willfully retaining national defense information under the Espionage Act and 8 counts related to alleged efforts to obstruct the investigation. The former U.S. president has dismissed the charges, describing them as another attempt by the Biden administration to score political gains. Okay, for more on this, we are now being joined by Mark Marowitz from New York. Mark is a political commentator and also a professor at State University of New York Maritime College. Mark, great to see you. Thanks for joining us. Here we are again, Donald Trump, another indictment by Jack Smith. They are really trying to get this obstruction charge moving ahead because it's one of the most serious leveled against the former president. But as a lawyer yourself, how difficult is this path?
Well, I looked over the indictment somewhat. I didn't read it all, but I have the gist of it. And it's an indictment, and it would have to be proved, but it is somewhat formidable. It makes, but again, it connects a lot of dots. In other words, it alleges that de Oliveira is saying, or now de Oliveira is saying, the boss wants you to delete the server in a conversation with the IT guy, and the IT guy says, I don't think I can do that, and it didn't happen. So there's a lot of pieces to this puzzle that would need to be tied together. But if true, it's quite significant. Also, the willful retention that you spoke about, I mean, before there was a question whether the paper that President Trump was holding up was actually a military document related to Iran. And now, in fact, the government has been able to apparently locate that document. And in the indictment, they cite, not classified specifics, but the overall nature of the documents, in particular the document that he was holding and showing allegedly to other people. So this is, I think it's quite strong. It appears as in the indictment. Again, it would all have to be proved. But the point is that as these various indictments and target letters add up, the anomaly is that his numbers seem to, and the poll numbers seem to improve. But it's almost like I would liken it to, I don't know, a glass of water filling up with water, and the last drop, I mean, it keeps accumulating. And there gets a point where people might, that is to say, independents and moderates and others might think that, there's a point at which it's too much. I don't know if we're there, but we're getting there, I think, possibly, where the other candidates in the Republican Party can't move forward because of Trump. And we're coming up in August, actually, to the Republican. I think there's going to be a debate. Is Trump going to show up? I mean, Chris Christie says he's definitely going to show up. Is he going to show up? If he shows up, that's going to be an important interaction among the Republican candidates if they want to move forward.
So Trump said in an interview this morning that he's not going to end his presidential campaign if convicted. He made similar comments during an interview before as well. Meanwhile, as you mentioned, it's not just Trump. You see on the Democrat side as well, President Biden and his son Hunter seem to be torpedoing the elections as well, considering the fact that, Hunter has all these legal problems and whether Biden himself is involved or not. And all the air is being sucked out of campaigning, as you rightly noted, by other candidates. But then there is that notion, and I want to talk to you about this, that while this may seem political in the eyes of a lot of people, and they want to get Trump, they want to convict him, but at the end of the day, the Democrats, notably the Biden camp, would want nothing more than to have Donald Trump as an opponent on the Republican side, because frankly, they don't think they would win against anyone else.
Well, it's kind of like the old proverb, be careful what you wish for. This is playing out in a very, I think, unpredictable, unexpected way, as you say, where both sides seem to have formidable legal problems, yet if you ask the public perception, it is that Trump is going to face Biden in 2024. How amazing is that? How is American politics able to function where it cannot produce a real array of candidates on the Democratic side, on the Republican side, and really have them contending for this position? I mean, it really is a very sad and sorry commentary on American politics that we cannot come up with a more robust array of competing candidates to discuss the issues, and that all we're talking about are the legal woes of these candidates. And as you rightly point out, it is possible that before the election, looks like at least one of these cases is going to move forward before the election, that would have an ex-president being actually convicted and possibly, serving time. But we actually have a precedent of that because Eugene V. Debs, the socialist candidate for president, actually was in jail when running for president and got 1 million votes in that election. So we've actually had that before. Have it again. That's all I'm saying, because obviously that would be upending and very disturbing to the American political system. The whole idea of a president, first of all, being indicted is very shocking, but in a federal case, state case, but to actually convict the president, I mean, this is something very, very shocking. Also, the possibility that Trump could be reelected president. And that's another one that's just one for the books, one for the ages. What does it mean? I mean, our political system, we have an ex-president who's been impeached twice and has numerous indictments. I mean, gee whiz, not convicted in the Senate because that's politics, but still the American political system persists, but it's really getting a tremendous workout, and hopefully it will prevail, clearly.
Yeah, we're hoping for that, as it has for many, many hundreds of years. Mark, we can talk to you about this for hours, but I have to say goodbye. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll talk to you again very soon.
Thank you. Look forward to it.